Hey everybody, it's Tripl-L and now let's talk My Hero Academia Chapter 178, A Woman Named La Brava. It's technically not her name, kind of her code name. Anyway, guys, hey, so before we continue, just gotta say whether or not we're having a live stream today. I am planning the live stream for, let's say, 30 minutes, half an hour from after this video goes up, because then it'll just turn into a weekly roundup. There's a lot of cool news that came out this week and a lot of cool shows, and I kind of just want to talk with you guys and see what we're thinking, and also just talk about some news. So after this video is uploaded, a half hour, I'll be taking the time to figure out what topics I want to talk about in what order, and we can come back in. We'll talk about the Heor Academia movie, we'll talk about New All Might, we'll talk about the episodes coming out tomorrow, and you guys can ask me questions, whatever you want. It'll be a nice free-flowing type discussion. We'll also, I'll make a list of the things that we can talk about during the live stream. Anyway, back to this chapter. My god, guys, you know, I could say I have never really seen a manga chapter kind of end off with a finger flicking pose. And mind you, like when Izuku's doing that, it's pretty cool. It's pretty badass shot. Like, this is a pretty epic shot of a finger flick. Anyway, yeah, chapter 178. There's a lot of cool things going on in this chapter. This is a really full chapter, going from La Brava's problems to La Brava's love to Izuku being freaking badass for, like, wow, and just Gentle's general niceness. Man, this was a good chapter. And you know, at the beginning we also got a slice of life stuff. Let's just clear that out real quick. It's just Eri approaching the site and everyone else getting really hyped up for things, and then what's her name, Bibimi senpai, whatever, that lady. Man, I don't know, man. I don't see nothing attractive in overgrown hairs. I don't know, man. It's just like the author's also using it for like jokes when he has a prickling Nijiri. So you know what, I don't really care for the girl. I don't really care about the beauty pageant. Not my thing. But everyone else in the world is getting ready. They're all having fun. They're all getting ready for the big thing while Izuku's out risking his life trying to take out Gentle. Mind you, there is one spot in the intro, in those slice of life scenes, that I'm going to talk about, because I think it's something that I'm looking at with careful eyes, pretty much. Okay, but for the other parts of the chapter, this continued the fight with Izuku and Gentle. And before the parts where La Brava gets involved, the most incredible thing here is obviously Izuku taking advantage of the air trampolines, or the air pockets. That was pretty cool. Especially, this is one of those moments where Izuku being analytical is really good, right? Because he kept track of where those elastic cushions are, and now he's taking advantage of it. That's pretty badass, alright? And I want to say that he was adjusting his trajectories based on where he would think that Gentle would put it, but I think it was just, he just kept an eye on it. So this is a pretty good showing for Izuku, keeping an eye on things in the heat of battle. Really good showing, really like it. In terms of technicality for Izuku, I think Izuku's winning on the technical point for this chapter. And Gentle's getting pretty much his butt handed to him by Izuku. Now, once we clear that first bit and Izuku's gotten Gentle under control, we go into the La Brava segments. And man, the author's playing so coy here, man. Like, because the thing is, La Brava had her issue happen to her in junior high, but we start the scene off premise with a graduation album. The graduation album definitely is there to say that she completed some form of school, but I don't know how the Japanese school system works, and I don't know if that graduation album is the one for the junior high, because then that, you know, we're just trying to figure out the age ranges here for La Brava, but at least we know that she definitely got to Gentle after junior high, and specifically after graduation from one of the schools. If you guys have any more things that you can elaborate on for this one, let me know. But I'm still holding out hope that she's over 18 and just a midget. That's what I'm holding out for. Anyway, La Brava's actual problem, in the grand scheme of things, you know, in terms of the things that get someone on the path of villainy, or shit like that. Not even real villainy, like more like the path of pranking people. This backstory, you know, it's kind of silly when you take away from the fantastical world of Heor Academia. It's kind of silly, right? Because like we have a world where on the other side, Shigaraki most likely destroyed his father and was raised by the ultimate supervillain, right? Meanwhile, you have Labrava, who was rejected in middle school. I'm going to make a one point about this, but you know, like in terms of like the things that could happen to screw a person up, this isn't the worst thing on the spectrum, right? Mind you, again, it's embarrassing. It's got all the social connotations. It's really heartbreaking when you hear it. But this reaction to get, you know, a bad social interaction that you built up in your head, but you get a bad social interaction and then you go throughout your life and you just become a shut-in. You become a neat. You don't want to go out. That's a bit ridiculous, right? You know, to some degree, you have to start saying, well, this person isn't mentally strong enough for the rest of the world if this is affecting them there, right? That would usually be what you could say. Now, mind you, sometimes people don't have a choice in how they react. Brains are weird, brains are different, brains have anomalies in them, and sometimes, especially in the teenage years, where certain parts of your brain are more active than others, when it feels like the world's crashing down on you, it might actually legitimately feel like the world's crashing down on you. I do believe that teenagers, especially because they're going through such hormonal changes and because their brain's developing in a new exciting way, they experience most things in a more visceral way. So like the pain of a heartbreak could be that bad. It could weigh that badly on a teenager's mind, to such that the things that they do, well, man, if you were feeling your emotion, well, like for people who are like super older now, if you were feeling your emotions 10 times as bad, so picture out, like take out the saddest moment you've had in the last 2 years and then imagine that being amplified by hormones or whatever other things are going on in your head. It does become an interesting case of like whether or not a person should be able to handle that kind of ferocity when it comes to weird emotions popping up in their heads. For Labrava, though, let's pull away from the biology of it. And we could say that with Labrava, we see that she was very into it. We see that she wrote something that was many pages long. You know, lack of social awareness kind of plays into this a little bit. And, you know, she gets called a stalker as a consequence of it. But Labrava's quirk itself, the quirk being love, that creates a new secondary problem for Labrava, and one problem that maybe she can't deal with. If her quirk is based on an emotion, chances are that the rest of her physiology adapted to rely itself on that quirk, such that because of the quirk, you could say maybe, and mind you, we're all speculating here and we're trying to justify Labrava's extreme behavior. Maybe because the quirk is based around love, Labrava feels love more intensely in order to make love work, right? It's just like a secondary mutation. For instance, a secondary mutation like Bakugo. Bakugo has mutant sweat glands in his palms. Confirmed, right? Secondary mutation could possibly also be in play for Momo. Momo's memorization skills are on a level that shouldn't be possible, and that warrants her a really high rating when it comes to her intelligence. That could be possible. Secondary mutations. Ashido might have a secondary mutation that allows her to not get burnt by her own acid, right? So if we're talking secondary mutations, there might be something that's predisposing Labrava to extreme emotion or being susceptible to extreme emotion. So that's just a little note here, but we should also keep in mind Labrava's behavior is not well adjusted. She is not a well adjusted person because, like, let's face it, everyone else in the world has really tough times, and yet they're still struggling for life. They're still struggling to get out there, right? Whatever Labrava went through traumatized her to the point that she withdrew from society, and now definitely after the withdrawal, she is not well adjusted to society, and she's not well adjusted to social interactions. But that's a little point there. And mind you, guys, if anyone just got a bit sore like listening to this, apologies, but like this is just the fact of the matter for Labrava in herself. That said, when it comes to creating a sad story and a story of hope and renewal, what's good for Labrava is that she found something that she could gravitate towards, right? we start this thing, we have an extreme sad situation happening, we have an extreme sad situation that was picked for her, and she's the same person who picked Gentle, right? She went out to meet Gentle, she went out there. So the previous note about the maladjustment, the good thing is you can fix it. It just relies on the person going out there and just, you know, trying again. And that's what she did when she went with Gentle. Mind you, she is probably still working off of her previous tendencies when it comes to people who move her. But given that that might be her physiology, or that might just be the way she is, this works out for her. And so the sequences where we see her like building herself up and going out to find Gentle are pretty heartwarming, and it's pretty cool. And it's like, again, you know, there is that connotation of, well, she kind of hacked this guy's address and she did display some stalker-like tendencies, but at the same time, these two are compatible with each other. And thankfully, Gentle was a kind person, as we see in the montages. I think the best scene in the little like flashback is the scene where he's giving her tea. Like, this is nice. This feels good. This is a fun time. And I got something wrong in the previous chapters, that being with the dark spots under his eyes. As it turns out, La Brava must have been using too much eyeliner, and the eyeliner must have made itself permanent, maybe? I don't know, like, can eyeliner stick to someone forever? Anyway, not the point. Gentle matches her with what I assume was a permanent marker, which is like, Gentle, that might be toxic. You be careful, man. Anyway, the whole sequence with building up of La Brava and Gentle, I do like it. And I do like that Gentle was nice to her. And I think Gentle in general, he's a generally good person. Like, yeah, he's a shit disturber, but he's a genuinely good person. Like, when it comes to his general empathy and kindness, like, Gentle's definitely up there. Mind you, like, this is now where you have to, like, start talking about, like, motivations and whether or not motivations are just. But I think Gentle overall does a good enough showing for himself. Now, moving through, we get the quirk reveal that it's love. So this was cool in that we finally get to understand exactly what happened the first time we saw Gentle. Because with the first time we saw Gentle, we saw that he had smoke surrounding him. And that was something that we couldn't see coming from his elasticity quirk when he started demonstrating it. But now we understand. That first time, Gentle was under the effect of two quirks. Or he used his elasticity and he also used La Brava's love. So that's why he's saying that he likes cutting away. This is the moment that we didn't get to see the love effect happening to Gentle. And now, like, this panel of Gentle just stepping away with La Brava, that's totally a heroic panel. You know, that's the type of panel you see when someone's about to save the girl they like. So I like it. I really do. This is pretty freaking awesome. And now we have La Brava, who is pretty much a buffer. And they're saying that his power level jumps exponentially. He tries to knock out Izuku, but Izuku's saying that he's fought stronger people. So I'm wondering, like, how, you know, I'm kind of sad. I thought this was going to be it. I thought this is, yeah, Gentle got Izuku. Awesome. Excellent. Let's get Izuku out of there. But Izuku's still standing up. Mind you, Izuku's pain tolerance is probably at levels that shouldn't be contested. But it's still kind of unfortunate for me watching this, because I really want Gentle to succeed here. But yeah, Izuku's still standing up, so that's merits towards Izuku. And yeah, that's the majority of the stuff that we get directly in the chapter that we can talk about. I do wonder how much further Gentle can go, but I'm starting to think, like, if Gentle's power goes up too much, he might be approaching, like, one for all levels of possible repercussions, right? If this guy goes 100% over his natural base strength, he might be in trouble. Anyway, there's one last note that we can finally talk about, because we got La Brava's information about her quirk. That being that La Brava's hacking skills are entirely her own. So, listen. If La Brava, a shut-in, a middle school dropout, a emotionally fragile person, can pick up hacking and learn how to hack such that she can destroy the UA systems, such that she can circumvent the UA systems, UA security sucks. This isn't the same as saying that UA has to deal with an extra paranormal threat coming from the form of a quirk. UA is losing to homegrown hackers. That's not good. Alright? as long as that possibility exists, the notion of there being a traitor in UA is stupid, because it's very likely that someone just hacked files. Mind you, the story's working in a way that such that we can't really, believe that. But because it's given us a few extra clues that seem that they do not rely just on digital information. But point is, this isn't a good look for UA. Alright, man? UA wants to protect those kids. Bump up your cybersecurity. Go pay a consultant. Pay someone that has a quirk that integrates with technology, for all I care, and fix your systems. Alright? If La Brava gets in there, that's dumb. UA sucks. Look, guys, it's just a matter of, it's very easy. There's one thing that you're showing off, or there's one thing that you're trying to be normal. But here's the reality of the situation. The only people who can afford themselves happiness are people strong enough to maintain that happiness. If UA isn't strong enough to maintain the happiness of their kids, they shouldn't be putting it out in the forefront. Why? Because UA in particular is a target. People want to want to have contests of, they want to have contests of strength with UA. Right? If you're going to be like provoking people, and if you're going to be actively stoking the flames when you know there's a giant culture war going on between heroes and villains, you better like at least bump up your security. That's why, again, when it comes to Gentle, I want to see Gentle try and get into UA, because I think that would be hilarious and it would put UA in their place if they are actually not able to combat Gentle's intrusion. Again, of all the people that could be invading UA, Gentle is probably the best person. Mostly because he probably won't kill anyone. But yeah, those are my thoughts. Oh, and okay, man, I almost ended this video off without talking about one point. So earlier in the chapter, and guys, mind you, this is hardcore speculation. Speculation with anecdotal, possibly evidence. So earlier in the chapter, we had Monoma talking about going plus ultra. Now, here's what I'm thinking, right? I think that when it comes to the people that make the Shonen Jump magazine and the editors that are in charge, I think they are a little bit predisposed to trying to make every manga chapter accessible for a casual reader, because they want to convert the casual reader, right? Because of that, I do think that they would use tactics that, such as like bringing up little elements before they actually use it later on in a chapter. That said, I don't think that's really happening here, because it's too disconnected. But that kind of thinking, that's what got me into this idea in the first place. I'm just giving you the background. What I think here is, if Gentle's going to get through this, I think we're going to see the equivalent of a plus ultra moment for Gentle. And the only reason I'm thinking about it is because of the proximity that the Monoma panel has in this chapter. Monoma talks about going plus ultra over UA. He's, like, in my mind, you're reintroducing the element, you're reminding us of the element, you're putting this element out in the air, because I in my conspiracy type theory, I would think it's possible that the author is thinking of having Gentle have a heroic moment where he goes beyond his limits and takes out Izuku. Why would the author do that? Well, because the author's already establishing that Gentle has a bit more going for him. Like, the author is giving a lot of resources to Gentle and La Brava, and they're getting a lot of resources in the span of like a few chapters, right? If I was thinking about this, him putting in that plus ultra at the beginning with Monoma in the most hardcore conspiracy theory type level speculation, I'm thinking he's already got the idea in his head that he's going to give Gentle a limit breaking moment. And so because the idea is already in his head, he's putting other little clues into the manga to say that this idea is formulating. It's just an issue of proximity. And mind you guys, it's just like hardcore speculation. I'm just thinking it's very likely that we could get a limit breaking Gentle moment. Like, Gentle goes 110% to try and complete their thing, right? And already we have that kind of soft confirmation happening throughout the chapter. La Brava's observing that Gentle would have usually have run away, but now he's not running away. If there was ever a moment where Gentle would break his limits, it's here against Izuku, and that's pretty cool. Izuku is right now the villain of La Brava and Gentle's story. I like that, man. I like it. And Izuku has an advantage in this fight. Man, when you had Izuku on top of Gentle like that, and holding him and La Brava down, that was that's a point of power. Izuku was in dominance in that mode. So that's what I'm thinking. That's my speculation. Guys, let me know what you think down below for that one. Again, it's based on really flimsy evidence, but I think the author's telegraphing it here. But we'll have to see next week. I don't mind being wrong on this one, but next week, if I do get it wrong, guys, feel free to just brag that I got it wrong or whatever. I don't mind. Anyway, guys, yeah, that's it for that note. And also, someone left a really good comment, and it was on, like, I think last week's video, and it's an excellent comment because it, like, captures some bits of thought processes. So I think I want to make a video specifically for that one comment, so I think I will do that, but just keep an eye out for it. Maybe it'll be today, maybe tomorrow, maybe Sunday. But yeah, guys, let's end it there. Thanks for watching. Till next time, I hope you have a great day.